You might have noticed a change in your neighborhood lately. Yep, Sprint stores are now T-Mobile stores. Now that Sprint is T-Mobile, you get more coverage, value, and benefits than ever before. We've invested billions to bring our 5G from big cities to small towns across America. And great coverage is just the start. From high-speed mobile hotspot data to weekly deals and giveaways, our customers get tons of great benefits. Head to your new T-Mobile store to learn more.
Qualifying service and capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.
Hello, everybody. How are you? How's it going? Thank you. You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language that we use all the time. Most all of us use them every day, and we never seem to examine them very closely. You know, we just say them as if they really made sense. Like, legally drunk. Well, if it's legal, what's the problem? Leave the guy alone. He's legally drunk. You know where you can stick it. You hear that, don't you guys? You know where you can stick that. Well, why do we always assume everyone knows where they can stick it? Suppose you don't know. Suppose you're a new guy. You have absolutely no idea where to stick it. I think there ought to be a government booklet entitled Where to Stick It. Now that I think of it, I believe there is a booklet like that. They send it to you when you complain about your income tax. Selling like hotcakes. Well, is this the fastest selling item we could think of? For this figure of speech? Hotcakes? Beer, cigarettes, coffee, even eggs. You go to the average place where people are ordering breakfast, you'll find a lot more people ordering eggs than are ordering hotcakes. Well, it doesn't sound right, does it? Michael Jackson's new album is selling like eggs. People won't say that. It doesn't have the right ring to it. Undisputed heavyweight champion. Well, if it's undisputed, what's all the fighting about? To me, that's the last straw. That one doesn't seem fair to me, you know? I think you ought to warn a guy first. That's the next to the last straw. Let him know he's running out of straws. Down the pike. Boy, he was the meanest guy ever to come down the pike. Fine. What about guys who come up the pike? Not everybody lives north of the pike. Some guys come up the pike and they're really mean because nobody mentions them at all. What about a guy who don't even use the pike? Comes on Amtrak. He was the meanest guy ever to arrive on Amtrak. Doesn't have that ring. It's like eggs. Down the tubes. You hear that a lot, especially the last couple of years. People say, boy, the country is really going down the tubes. What tubes? Have you seen any tubes? Where are these tubes? And where do they go? And how come there's more than one tube? It would seem to me, one country, one tube. What, does every state all of a sudden have to have its own tube now? One tube is all you need.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, a veterinarian physician and founder of Youngevity, and I want to talk about kidney failure and high blood pressure. Kidney failure and high blood pressure are due to artery disease in the kidneys, not caused by cholesterol, but by eating fried foods and processed meats and oils and glutens. Give up all those bad foods and take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Take our program, which we call the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. That'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And people who have not urinated in 10 years are on dialysis 6 days a week. After 2 weeks, they start urinating again. They drop their dialysis down to 3 days a week. And then after 25 years of being on dialysis because they did not want to have a kidney transplant, they're totally off of dialysis. Their doctors are scratching their head. How can that be? Well, that's because 98% of the time when people have kidney issues, guess what? It's really an artery issue. You'll be amazed. This also helps the arteries in the brain when you have vascular dementia, coronary artery disease, and also in your legs and other places, including the kidneys. It's an amazing thing when you take this program and stay away from the bad foods. And just remember, you also want to stay away from statin drugs because cholesterol is your best friend. Cholesterol makes up 95% of the weight of testosterone and estrogen. No ED if you're eating 3 eggs twice a day. And there's a dementia that's caused by doctors. It's called Alzheimer's disease. It did not exist until they started giving people statin drugs and telling you to stop eating eggs. You need to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Hard-boiled eggs won't do. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-610-5739. 800-610-5739. That's 800-610-5739. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Hey there, you're welcome to back. Right
hey there,
here at
hello there.
23 minutes before the hour.
Oh, place your next hour
Before
here.
we go to our special guest,
Yes,
person very close to me,
yes.
I want to do a little numbers run for you just real quickly,
Okay.
and it's about the pandemic. Okay. We have been averaging 1.2 million shots in the arm a day for the past week. Joe Biden said he wanted to do 1 million a day for 100 days. That would be 100 million people, correct?
Okay.
Good math. Okay. The CDC came out with a report yesterday that said what we have been talking about for a long time, that a lot of people contracted this virus before they knew what it was, and so they haven't ever been counted. They believe the number of people who have actually had the COVID-19 virus is 4 times the number that we know. Well, the number that we know is 26.7 million. So if you multiply that times 4, you get 106.8 million. Now you add that to the 100 million, and then you add 75 million children under 12 years old in this country. And if you do all that, you end up with 285.8 million people are either covered for COVID from the shots, we're talking about in 100 days,
Okay.
or have had it, or are under the age of 12. That would be 76.2% of the population.
Wow.
The herd immunity rate is at 70%. That's the percentage when the odds of you catching it because of the people who have been vaccinated or had it or can't transmit it becomes very, very small. So that is the light at the end of the tunnel. Speaking of lights at the end of the tunnel,
Yes.
let's hear from one.
Let's do. I think it's Brother Rick. You know him, you love him. You can't get through Friday morning
there.
without him. Good morning. We missed
You
you last
can't.
week. I know.
I know you did.
I was so upset with that pesky gas leak that you guys had in New Jersey
Well, it
in
didn't-
your neighborhood.
Didn't turn out to be a gas leak, but a fire in a junkyard in Camden, New Jersey, about 6 or 7 miles away, blowing in the wind. So, but anyway, it was.
It does remind me of some of your gas
ability
leaks.
to be here.
Yes, and
so.
we were very upset.
Well,
and it was-
anyway.
yes. How are you, and what's on the docket for today?
I'm doing great, and you know, we've talked a lot about my novel Caliph, available on Amazon and on the website at amontheradio.com. Some of the fun parts are the fact that, of course, as a writer, you're always including the things that really happened in life, even if you're creating fiction. And so what I want to talk about today is the fact that this coming Tuesday is February 9th, 2021, and Carole King will celebrate her 79th birthday. So that in itself, of course, is an event, but let's go back to a different Tuesday 50 years ago. So Tuesday, February 9th, 1971, Carole did not have the ability to celebrate her 29th birthday. And the reason for that is all of us in Southern California woke up to the biggest earthquake of our lifetime, the 6.3 magnitude San Fernando Valley earthquake. It destroyed 2 hospitals and my elementary school, which had stood in place since the early 1900s. we were petrified because we'd been told for year after year how California was going to fall into the ocean, and we knew that this was the big one. 6 o'clock in the morning, I came stumbling into the bedroom looking like a drunk at 10 years old. And, what's wrong? And you could see the ripples in the glass down the apartment way. And it was
the truth is, Rick, some things never change. That's right. He still does that. But let me give you where I was.
But
I was living on Colfax Avenue, and I was working in a restaurant, and across the street was a ladies' dress shop, and next to it was a pet store. And the windows broke on both, and the mannequin fell out of the women's shop, and a snake crawled out of the front window of the pet shop. And so when I drove to the restaurant to see if everything was okay, there was this woman with a snake over her body, not a usual sight. And I was also married at the time, and my wife said to me, "It's an atomic bomb." And I said, "Well, then go back to sleep."
It is. So it's one of those days that at least all of us in Los Angeles remember. And we all have our personal stories, and but we were terrified that the next one was going to come, and there were aftershocks that were even bigger than the original quake. And so Carole King, on her birthday at 29 years old, was not doing a whole lot of celebrating. And here's how we also can turn it into like another personal story for me. Schools were closed for a week. Everything was closed for a week. Our stepfather had to go into the supermarket and clean up all of the mess from broken ketchup bottles. And, everything was closed. We were terrified. The only solace we got on that day 50 years ago was when Johnny Carson came on, who had just moved the studios to California. And was able to joke about it a little bit, giving us a little bit of relief. Well, we didn't venture out of the house for several days, but Mom finally took me on Saturday, 4 days later, to the White Front over on Roscoe Boulevard. She bought me a hamburger at the hamburger stand that's still there across the street, Beats. And then we went into the White Front, were able to buy a few of the staples that we needed, and she bought me the brand new album, which had come out the day after the earthquake, Carole King's Tapestry.
Oh, Rick, take us to the break, and let's continue
and
on
what'd
that.
You do with all those staples? Right here on
Daybreak USA.
Good to see your Friday morning smiling face.
Everyone looks wonderful on
It's
Friday.
12 minutes before the hour.
It is. Place your next hour here.
Now we have, a lot of people don't know a lot of the background behind my brother Ricky. He had a storied musical career, and we'll sum it up in one word, and that word would be what, Ray?
The accordion. We were talking about you earlier.
I did.
We couldn't wait to talk to you about the skinny young kid with the accordion.
Who got body parts caught in it.
The salesman came to the door and, of course, said I had natural ability on the accordion. And they let me borrow a small accordion, which was manageable for me at 10 years old or younger, I would think. I took lessons. They were $7 a week, and the whole plan, of course, was to get me to buy the big accordion, which they did buy for me, and it was way too heavy for me to lift, and there went my accordion career. But I always remember Mom saying, that it was a great instrument to be able to play because you could bring it to parties.
Goes on the water. There you go.
That's me in the background.
Yes.
Did your accordion come with a little cup on the side of it? I don't remember.
Yes, and a monkey. Anyway, that was my musical career, and ever since I learned my lesson, now I just listen. I don't play.
And by the way, the PS to the old thing, by being an older brother and already understanding all these kind of things, it became part of the divorce settlement between my mother and father. My mother was upset. She said, "Bill, sell that accordion."
Pawn that accordion. So back
there are
to
many
Carole
people
King.
are many people who utter that statement. But anyway, Carole King, let's go back to that Tapestry. Despite the fact that it came out the day after a major earthquake in California, would zip up the charts, make it to number one. It is, to this day, one of the biggest selling albums of all time. Everybody, you mentioned this, Ray, everybody had it on every format. You had it on cassette, you had it on album, you bought it again on CD. It is a phenomenal album. It rates number 2 in the albums that have been on the Billboard Top 100 the longest. Now, number 1 is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, which was on the Billboard Top 100 for 714 weeks, if you can imagine. And Carole King's Tapestry, over 300 weeks, 6 years in the top 100, if you can imagine. And of course it did. It was that album that, even if you were like a heavy metal guy, all you listened to was Led Zeppelin, or you were into whatever it was at the top, you took a break and you bought this album. You could be Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, but you had this album as well. And it read like a greatest hits. I Feel the Earth Move, So Far Away. And it's funny because Carole King never thought her voice was good enough to sing her own songs. She had so many hits. Here's part of the list. Will You Still Love Me? Will You Love Me Tomorrow? From the Shirelles in 1960. She was 17 years old at the time. Take Good Care of My Baby by Bobby V. Chains was a hit. And then for the Beatles, The Locomotion, the only song that's ever been a hit, a number 1 hit 3 times. It was first done by Little Eva, who was Carole King's babysitter, if you can imagine. They made a remake of it by Grand Funk Railroad that made it to number 1. Great version of the song. And then in the 1990s, Australian superstar Kylie Minogue brought it to number 1 as well. The only song like that. Carole King wrote Pleasant Valley Sunday for the Monkees. One hit after the other, but never felt as if she could do it on her own. Came to Los Angeles after her.
And wrote 2 of the classic songs of all time for James Taylor. You've Got a Friend and Fire and Rain.
Wow, I didn't realize that Carole wrote those.
In so many songs. And so she divorced Jerry Goffin, her husband, and moved to California with her 2 kids and basically retired. That was, I think, in 1967, something like that. But quickly wanted to get back into the industry and, wanted to, try it on her own. There I go again. See, I picked it up.
Don't forget, Brother Rick, thank you always. Happy weekend. Don't forget, amontheradio.com. Learn lots about music.
And play
also,
that thing.
Yes, and don't forget, get your
Yeah,
Miles
here I
from
go.
Nowhere and Caliph.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-923-9018, 800-923-9018, 800-923-9018. That's 800-923-9018. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-882-2093. 800-882-2093. 800-882-2093. That's 800-882-2093.
You know, I was just talking about on your future. Now, what do you want to do with your life when you grow up, you know, when you get bigger? Who do you want to be like?
Well, I'm not going to get much bigger, but who I want to be like, who I admire the most, is I want to be like my father.
Who?
Gort Smothers. He used to take me for walks in the park. Gort. He used to take me for walks in the...
No, your father's name was Mort.
Then who's that guy I was hanging around with?
I don't know.
Well, he did a lot of things. My old man's a sailor. What do you think about that? He wears a sailor's collar. He wears a sailor's hat. He wears a sailor's raincoat. He wears a sailor's shoes. And every Saturday evening he reads the Sunday news. And someday, if I can, I'm gonna be a sailor, the same as my old man.
My old man's an anthropologist. What do you think about that? He wears an anthropologist collar, wears an anthropologist hat. He wears an anthropologist raincoat. He wears anthropologist shoes. Every Saturday evening he reads the anthropologist news. And someday, if I can, I'm gonna be an anthropologist, the same as my old man.
My old man's a Negro. What do you think about that?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm afraid you're incorrect.
My old man's a Negro.
He is not a Negro.
You are a
no
fascist.
Chance. I'm not a fascist.
Then you know some people who are.
I know you, and I know me, and I know you're my brother, so that makes it impossible, absolutely genetically impossible for your old man to be a Negro. You know why? Because my old man is not a Negro.
No wonder Mom always liked you best.
Nothing to do with it.
My old man's a nudist. What do you think about that? He wears a nudist collar. He wears a nudist hat. He wears a nudist raincoat. He wears nudist shoes. And every Saturday morning he reads the nudie news.
And someday,
if I can, I'm gonna be a nudist. just the same as my old man.
My old man's a cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker. He wears a cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker's collar. He wears a cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker's hat. Wears a cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker's raincoat. Wears cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker's shoes.
What about socks?
Wears a cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker's socks.
What about a bra?
Wears cotton-picking, What did you say?
Oh, it wasn't that important.
All right. He wears a cotton-picking, finger-licking chicken plucker's bra.
Dunkin' is putting a whole new spin on pumpkin at Dunkin' with our new pumpkin cream cold brew. Smooth, bold cold brew topped with velvety pumpkin cream cold foam made with cinnamon and nutmeg spices. And there's more pumpkin for you to love, like the delicious fall classic, our pumpkin spice signature latte. Rich espresso topped with whipped cream, caramel drizzle, and cinnamon sugar. That's how we pumpkin at Dunkin'. Sip into the fall season with the $3 medium pumpkin cream cold brew or pumpkin spice signature latte. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply. Valid on pumpkin spice signature latte only in all cold foam cold brew.
You might have noticed a change in your neighborhood lately. Yep, Sprint stores are now T-Mobile stores. Now that Sprint is T-Mobile, you get more coverage, value, and benefits than ever before. We've invested billions to bring our 5G from big cities to small towns across America. And great coverage is just the start. From high-speed mobile hotspot data to weekly deals and giveaways, our customers get tons of great benefits. Head to your new T-Mobile store to learn more.
Qualifying service and capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.